Hi Sheddies, it's me, Eddie Stevens. I'm back in my shed. The time is 2:30 p.m. That's my time, and possibly yours. Let me know if it's 2:30 p.m. wherever you are, because that would be fucking crazy. The odds. One in however many. Someone could do the maths on that. It's a Tuesday. I'm not exhausted. Can you tell? From my voice, my enthusiasm, my energy, I have slept somewhat. Yes, I still had sex. All right? Of course I did. That's what I do. That's what I do. But it wasn't all night, multiple times, my dick is falling off sex. It was just a couple of times. And it was nice. I could go into more detail if you really wanted me to, but I don't think you do. But let's just say that my lobster is too buttery and my steak is too juicy. And if you know, you know. It's Rugby Rant Banter. I have about an hour to get this done in. And when I say get it done, I mean recorded, edited, and released. Not necessarily released. I could release it later, but I got to get this. Got to get cracking on this. Let's put it that way. Usually I have a longer, weirder intro. I'm not going to do that this time. It's Rugby Rant Banter. Oh, fuck me. I don't know what episode it is. I'll find out really quick. It's... Oh, you bitch from hell. Is that me? Yes. Oh, okay, great. It's Rugby Rant Banter, episode 278. Let's go. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, good. That was a quick intro. Now let's get down to brass tacks. Is that a term? Aztecs? I'm losing my goddamn mind. Let's talk about rugby. There wasn't any Premiership rugby to talk about. There was really no rugby to talk about, was there? There were no matches that I give a shit about. Do you? We don't care about the Prem Cup particularly. And we certainly don't care about URC or whatever else was going on. So... what we do care about is the Six Nations coming up, and to a lesser but still a decent extent, we care about the England A. Or is it Saxons now? Did they revert to Saxons? I think they did. Those are the games I'm interested in. I'm going to look at those squads, and it's going to be another fairly quick podcast, I think, /hope/dream. So let me have a look. Let's look first of all, I suppose... Yeah, let's look at the actual England Six Nations matchday squad first, which... I hope to God... Oh, God, that's a video I made. Is this it? Yep. No, that's Saxons. Are they Saxons? I guess they're just England A. Oh. I thought we were calling them the Saxons again. Well, anyway, I am trying to find the England... Well, I know what the squad is. I don't think I need to check. I'm hardcore. So let's hope I don't fuck it up. Which I am likely to do in some capacity. When I was naming my squad... The squad that I would pick, matchday squad, I totally forgot about Henry Arundel. At least in the video I made. Now I can't remember if on the podcast I got it right. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure, and I was sleep deprived because of sexual sex apnea. No, I can't remember what term I came up with, but I was sleep deprived, not getting enough sleep because of sex. And I fucked up because, of course, I would have Henry Arundel. The whole reason I wanted to move Tommy Freeman into 13 was to accommodate Tom Roebuck or Henry Arundel, depending on who was available. So, anyway, I got really close to the squad that Steve Borthwick named. Now, listen, I was naming my team. I think if I was naming the team that I thought Borthwick was going to pick, I'd have got even closer. The one thing that I didn't expect, and I don't think anyone expected, was Maro Itoje not being named, being named on the bench. And it's a weird one for me because obviously his mother died recently and everyone's sad about that, and he's obviously sad about that. But it doesn't, I mean, I guess maybe they thought he didn't need the extra burden of captaining his team. But it seems like you would just rest him altogether if it was going to be that big of a deal. This fucking... What is it this reflecting? Is it this reflecting? My glasses. I can't do anything about it. I'm always going to have this little... Let's do this. Now I'm blind. I took my glasses off to the audio podcast listeners, audio only. There's just this weird little blue dot that is I think it's my camera reflecting in my lens. Anyway, yeah, it seems like you would just give Marrow the entire weekend off. Like, why have him in the squad at all if he can't be fully focused? But anyway, he's on the bench. Other than that, the only differences to the team I named, bearing in mind, yeah, I did name Caden Murley on the wing, but I forgot about Henry Arundel. There's no way I'm picking fucking Caden Murley ahead of Henry Arundel. So I'm thinking the only differences were I had Billy Seller on the bench and they've got Trevor Davison. And that makes perfect sense to me. And I would have predicted that for sure. And then, like I said, I wouldn't have predicted Mara on the bench. But other than that, oh, yeah, they've got... I probably wouldn't have predicted Jamie George starting ahead of Luke Cowan-Dickie, but it is not surprising. It's just a very close call between those two. So let's go through the squad. Loosehead is Ellis Genge. We expected that. I expected that. With Bevan Rod on the bench, that's what I wanted. That's what I expected. Hooker, like I said, it's Jamie George starting, Luke Cowan-Dickie on the bench. That works for me. Tight head, Joe Hayes starting, which we all expected. And Trevor Davison makes probably more sense than my pick of Billy Seller. By the way, if you're listening, you don't know, I'm wearing my hat at an outrageous angle. And now, just to be clear, it's just I'm wearing my hat sideways, like some kind of fresh with a PH B-boy dickhead. I don't ever wear my hat like this. I decided I couldn't have it forwards because it was putting too much of a shadow over my face. And if I put it backwards, it was banging against my hood and it was annoying me. So I just flipped it sideways and we're just going with it. No one cares. Anyway, yeah, that front row, very happy with it. Almost exactly what I would have picked, with the changes not being surprising and not being a big deal, not being negative. Second row, very surprising. I wanted Marrow with Coles and Ollie Chesham on the bench. What I expected was, to be honest, I kind of expected that. But they went with Chesham and Coles and Marrow on the bench. Very exciting. Nothing wrong with that. You can play these locks in any position, in any order you want, obviously. Back row, the exact back row I picked, which isn't surprising because that is, I believe, the back row we ended with in November or whenever they last played. Pepper, Underhill, and Ben Earl. I think it makes perfect sense. Really happy, really loving Guy Pepper. Sam Underhill is the best flanker in the world. And Ben Earl, he's been a bit hit and miss this season, but he definitely hasn't been bad enough to drop. And I certainly wouldn't really... I mean, I'd have been happy with a number of players being picked at number 8, but I wanted Ben Earl, and I kind of expected Ben Earl. And I think they've got Tom Curry and Henry Pollock on the bench, which is exactly what I wanted. This pack is fantastic. We do have some problems, don't we, in the front row, with Will Stewart missing and... who are we missing? Apoka Fajour, and then there's a Loosehead with... who gives a shit? But anyway, we've got some problems, some problems, and I like the look of the props that we have in this squad. Very good, very nice. 3 cheers for the front row. Halfback, I said Spencer starting with George Ford. I expected Alex Mitchell with George Ford, and that's what we've got. And I'm fine with that because I say I like to have Ben Spencer starting because he's very consistent, very good all round, plays a good tactical game. Alex Mitchell is the better attacking threat, so bring him on when people are tired and let him run riot. But there's just as good of an argument for saying, I mean, it's not like Mitchell isn't good at the basics either. Have him on early, have him put pressure on Wales, and then build a lead, hopefully, and have Ben Spencer come on to finish it out. And it's not like Ben Spencer doesn't have any attacking talent. He does. So I'm fine with this too, and it's not surprising. In the centres, exactly what I picked. Dingwall and Freeman. I am quite certain that Borthwick wanted this for the exact same reasons I did. He wanted to have the most dangerous attacking wing options in the squad, which is Henry Arundel and Feo Waboso. And Freeman looks really good at 13 without Ollie Lawrence available. I think Tommy Freeman is the next best, next most talented, with a strong argument for Max Ajomo as well. And Ajomo really deserves to be playing for England. After what he's done, he deserves to be there. It's just one of those tactical situations where it's like, if you've got Freeman at 13, what works better? Freeman with Max Ajomo, or Dingwall, who I don't think is as good as Max Ajomo, but is used to playing with Freeman. I like that. So that's the centre combination I picked. And then the back three with Freddie Stewart at fullback, that's what I picked, except that I forgot about bloody Arundel. So just give me some leeway on that. I absolutely, that is the back line that I wanted. With the exception, I wanted Spencer starting. I got a bit bamboozled by my own thoughts just then. I'm not sure what point. I think I was just saying I'm very happy with that squad. Very excited about Freeman getting more time at 13, which a lot of people aren't. A lot of people seem to really be doubting Tommy Freeman. He's played just as much centre this season as he has on the wing, and for my money, has looked just as good at centre. Now, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. This is going to happen. There will be a moment here or there where he doesn't make a pass that maybe he could have, or he's out of position a little bit. And this is something that can and will happen to every centre, no matter how good they are. But in the case of Freeman, people will say, oh, it's because he's out of position, he's a winger. And it's going to drive me insane, just so you know. I love this squad. Against a Wales squad who I'm like, yeah, I've been getting some grief from, mainly from Welsh people, when I say that I think Wales are going to be better than a lot of people expect, and they're a real banana skin, waiting to ruin our plans from day one. And most people, especially the Welsh, it seems, are of the opinion that that's just not realistic. This Wales squad is nowhere near good enough. And on paper, they're not. And, you know, it's one of those things. I'm not just trying to cover my ass. I think they're going to put up a stern challenge, and I think we'll probably beat them by about... I don't want to jinx us. I don't want to shade us, touch us. I don't really know. I think they're going to be difficult, but we'll still win by 15 points plus. But I don't think people are going to be very happy. I have a feeling the way that we play, at the end of the game, people are going to have more questions about England. Because this is just typical. Like, we just need to get the job done. And Wales are going to be up for it. England are going to make mistakes. They're going to put us under some pressure, but we'll come through it in the end, and we'll be like, And then by the end of the Six Nations, we will have overall played really well. That's what I predict happening. But why do I think that? It's based entirely on all the bullshit I've seen in my, 35 years of watching England play. It's just a trend that I see happening again and again and again. So it may not happen. We may be incredible and beat everyone and get a Grand Slam, or come really close to it. I don't know, but this is what I predict. I hope we beat. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, I want to enjoy the game, and I will really enjoy seeing England beat the living shit out of Wales. But is that the best thing for England as preparation for the other matches? It'd probably be better for us to go up against a really motivated, overperforming Welsh team who put us in a position where we're not complacent, where we're asking questions of ourselves, and we have something to prove. That's probably what we need. But maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we just kick the shit out of them, and then we kick the shit out of everyone. And oh my God, we're the best team of all time, and we win a World Cup eventually. Anyway, that's that. That's how I feel about that. Follow me on... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not done. I want to talk about the England A team. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. I have a picture of them. Of the squad. Where is it? Because I just want to say, the last time I saw England A play, it was against the All Blacks the New Zealand A team, And I got to tell you, they were absolutely bloody terrible. They were really, really bad. Where is that picture? They couldn't do anything right. And it looked like they looked very sloppy. They looked very disorganized. And partly because, you know, it's the England A team. They're not used to playing together. And it's a mishmash of players from different clubs. But we've also seen them look really good before playing that way. But what I noticed in that game is there was a lot of players that I didn't think deserved to be there. And this squad that's going to go up against Ireland A, I think is on its way to get a hiding. I'm not impressed with it. Let's just go through it from Loosehead. Okay, we got Hafar at Loosehead. I love him. Okay, from Saints, where's he playing now? He moved, didn't he? I can't remember where he is, but he's a great player. I think he's at Leicester now. I could be wrong. Jamie Blamire, Leicester. Okay, George Kloska. Who the fuck is that? I should have looked it up. I'm not sure who that is. So that's not necessarily a problem because of reasons I'll get into in a minute. But I don't know who that is. Second row, Ben Bamba, I really like. Joe Batley, I love. I'm so glad Joe Batley is in this team. I hope he has a great game. I hope he gets through to the first choice England squad eventually, the senior squad. It's just hard with Chesham, Coles and Marrow. And then you've got some back rowers who can play second row. It's tough. You know what's funny? I said I don't like this squad. With the exception of the tight head who I don't really know. The name is familiar, but I just can't picture him. I do like this pack. I like that second row partnership. I wouldn't have minded, what's his face? Oh, God, I can't remember his name. Almost said Joe Biden. I think it's another Joe that ends in B, but I could be wrong, who plays for Bristol. I can't remember him. He's been in my fantasy squad a few times, and he's really good. Wouldn't have minded him there, but that's a good second row partnership. And then back row, Ethan Roots, who's captain, Jack Kenningham, and Alex Dombrandt. I love that back row. I absolutely love it. You've got Ethan Roots, who does all of the hard work. Just a monstrous, nasty player. Jack Kenningham, who works his ass off, tackles, turnovers, carries well too. And then Alex Dombrandt is a bit more of a flashy player, and I'm on the record for saying I am an Alex Dombrandt fan. You are not. None of you are. You all hate Alex Dombrandt, but he is a fantastic player. That's why he's there. And then at scrum half, little Harry Randall running with his candle. Fantastic. He was injured for a while, but I've seen he's had just one game where he looked really, really bloody good coming off the bench. But that's all it takes. When you're as good as him, I don't need him to prove himself game after game after game. I just need to see some evidence that he's, still got it. And I saw that. So I'm happy he's there. Fly half, Billy Searle. Yes. What a success story. No one gave a shit about Billy Searle last season, or most of this season. I never, ever, ever really rated him. Partly because I don't like his hair. And I say that as someone with shit hair. But he has weird curly hair and he doesn't look quite right. He's not big, he doesn't look like an athlete. I wonder how much of an effect that has on our selections and who we think should play for England. It's got to be a pretty significant. You look at some players and if they look hard, they look athletic and look like they can kick the shit out of people, you do have a bias towards them. Someone can be just as good, if not better, and if they don't look like an athlete, you don't want to pick them. And that's kind of like how I feel with Billy Searle. Even though he's a fly half, he doesn't have to be that impressive looking. But really glad he's there. Now, the centres is where it gets weird for me, because I cannot believe... Now, if you're a Leicester fan, you tell me if he's been outstanding, and I'm out of order saying this. I just haven't seen anything from Orlando Bailey to suggest he should be in any England squads as a centre. For me, the England A squad is for players who have potential to play for the first team. If you can't see them playing for the first team, don't even fucking bother, And for me, he's been around a while. He was at Bath for ages, never really impressed. Again, I could be wrong. I've watched Leicester play, but I haven't watched as much as Leicester fans, I'm sure. So maybe he's been incredible. But I suspect there are other centres. Well, I don't suspect. I could name a few centres that I'd rather have ahead of him. Don't put me on the spot. I don't want to do it right now, but that's odd. And then outside centre, Luke Northmore. Love him. Love him. Really glad he's there. On the wings, so you've got Ollie Hassel-Collins. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm glad that Ollie Hassel-Collins is there, mainly because the Welsh have been talking about trying to steal him, you know, and they're not allowed to steal our players. Only we can steal their players. Caden Murley. Wait, Caden Murley? I didn't know they could do that. I thought he was, because he was in the senior squad, wasn't he? So they've just taken him from the senior squad and put him in this. Well, if you can do that, I probably would change this squad even more. Oh, well, I don't care now. Caden Murley is a fine option. Joe Carpenter is the best fullback in England. Really excited about that. But then we look at the bench. Tuipulotu. Okay, that is exciting. Archie van der Fleer. Wait, what? Archie van der Fleer. Who is that? I gotta Google this. Archie. That says argue. Archie van Winkle. Van der Fleer. He plays for Leicester. And he's what? He looks like a prop. Wait, what? Is he a goddamn South African import? Where's his Wikipedia page? This is a weird angle of me on my YouTube video. Okay. Sorry, this is bad podcasting. I'm just looking at Leicester Tigers page. Born in Hammersmith. Okay. I can't even find where what position does he play? Prop. He is a prop. Of course he is. That's where he's number 17. Never heard of him. Don't know who he is. Don't know anything about him. For Sogbon, yep, that's good. Hugh Tizard. I've never been a big fan of Hugh Tizard. When he was at Quins, never got the hype. He moved to Saracens. Didn't change my mind really. But I've seen him in a couple of games where he's looked really good. I don't think he should be in this squad. I don't see him ever being an England option. I see Joe Batley as an England option. I see Ben Bamber as an England option. I see Arthur Clarke. By the way, if they can take players from the senior squad, put Arthur Clarke in there. I don't quite understand. I mean, have I gone insane? Murley was in the senior squad, right? That's very odd to me. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Okay. Covering the back row, Fitz Harding. Fitz Harding is a weird one for me because I like him as a player. I just think there's a lot of other options. And again, if we can take from the senior squad, why not just put Fizzalau or... Well, mind you, I'm probably being too hard on Fitz Harding. He has been really bloody good for Bristol for a long time. Very aggressive, very energetic. Now, Rafi Quirk. Friend of the pod, brethren member, Captain Frank, sent me a message saying, 5th choice scrum half? I think it was supposed to antagonize me. I don't give a shit. I love Rafi Quirk. He's had a lot of injuries. It wouldn't really make sense. I would have had him in the senior squad ahead of JVP, 100%. Although JVP has looked a bit better. In one game I saw him and he looked really good, and maybe I've been too harsh on him. But Rafi Quirk is on another level when it comes to talent. But maybe they're like, he's so injury prone, fuck it, put him in the A squad, let him, there's no shame in being on the bench behind little Harry Randall. Little Harry Randall is a rugby god, in my opinion. So put him on the bench there, bring him on in the second half. Let's see if he can play without getting injured. And then maybe in the future, he'll get back up in the senior squad. Charlie Atkinson on the bench, another player that I think is great, and nobody else seems to rate. But I also understand he's had plenty of opportunity and has never really stepped up. He had a really good game last week, but that's just one game. He's got to keep replicating that form. He's on the bench for the A team. I don't see him getting much opportunity to prove much. And then George Hendy, very exciting. We all love George Hendy, don't we? all English fans, whether you're a Saints supporter or not. Everybody loves George Hendy. He's an exciting athletic talent. Yeah, I'm looking at this back line again. I'd probably have put George Hendy in there ahead of... I'd probably put him in there ahead of Hassel Collins. I probably would, but maybe I'm just biased. And also, he can play wing and fullback, so he's a pretty handy back row option. I imagine he could play centre as well, but I'm not sure. But that's it. That's that squad. I feel like I spent way more time on the A squad than the senior squad, but it's a bit more interesting. The A squad, pretty much what we expected, going up against the weakest team most likely in the Six Nations. And what are you going to talk about? Nothing. And on that note, I shall talk no more. That's the end of this episode. I think it was fine. I don't feel like utter shit and like I'm dying and I've forgotten everything. So that's good. Please follow me on Instagram at Eddie Stevens Massive. Follow me on TikTok at Eddie Stevens 0. And follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like every video. Hype it up. Unless it's really shit, in which case just like it politely. And that's it. I'm done. I'm going to edit this and go to work. Okay, love you. Bye. Diddly-doo.